Hey there, this is Layden. We're going to be interviewing Cole Baxter as an Indigenous artist, photographer and storyteller. Today we're going to interview him about his story and learn a bit about what makes him who he is. Let's do it.
So yeah, I'm doing well. How are you?
I like that plant you got there, that's good. Who's the chef in the house?
Kaya, Nyan Quo, Cole Baxter, Nyan Mort Farmer, Were Baxter, Nyan Kulak Noongar Wajak Budja, Nyan Noongar Maman. I'm a Noongar man. My family is farmer. We're from the southwest. Yeah, I'm a Noongar photographer. That's kind of how I like to be and often see myself, and I think how a lot of other folks see myself, and those are two parts of who I am that allow me to flourish as a person. Is just, that's when I get to be my most me and impact other folks in a positive way, which again, just, I guess it's me being selfish because it just helps me in the long run. So yeah, that's who I am. At the time in 2020, I was working at the Centre for Aboriginal Studies at Curtin University, and I just wasn't able to complete my job there fully as an academic student engagement support officer as well as be a photographer. So I kind of just took a bit of a leap and saved a bit of money and thought, we'll just give this a crack, maybe it won't work. And I've just been blessed since then. There's just been heaps and heaps of opportunities, and they've all kind of, you know, each gig that I do sort of edifies the next one and then expands my reach, and all the work that I do is generally edified by, is this for Noongars or blackfellas here, Noongar country? Yeah, there's just such an abundance of work. I'm just so blessed to be able to have that reach and space. So this fella, Herbert Brofo, is a Noongar, and he goes to all the rallies and protests. Sometimes he'll be dressed in ball and chain. He really is very present in that space. And at the start of 2021, this was a Deaths in Custody rally, and it was the 30-year anniversary since the Royal Commission for Aboriginal deaths in custody, and there were all of those recommendations put forward that weren't really actioned at all. We were just walking down William Street, and we got to the corner of St George's Terrace from William Street, and everyone sort of blocked it all off. And yeah, he sort of just, stood down, put the fist up, you know, he's got it with the shirt, the mammoth flag, and it looks even so much more mammoth, but I just loved how it sub-framed him. And I think without me describing it at all, it sort of speaks for itself. I think I've always had like that creative bone, but I wouldn't have confidently said I've always been an artist. And I think maybe those creative parts of my personality were maybe more motivated by less creative things, you know, just that only child kind of syndrome, like wanting to have attention and be the loudest person in the room. I say that to say now I guess I feel like I'm more of a creative person or an artist than I have been. I'm working with mob, for mob, 99% of the time. But I just was really, really lucky. And I don't mean to be facetious, because there was a lot of hard work put in as well. But there's, I think, a lot of folks in my position or in similar positions that put in just as much hard work, maybe even more, and don't get that desired outcome or an outcome that's measurably similar to mine at all. So I've been super lucky because of that. It's been great, I think, for the most part. But what it's really meant for me, I think, is that on a daily basis, I can connect with my community in a meaningful way and be supportive and contributive to it, raising the positive visibility and platform for Noongars and blackfellas, predominantly on Noongar country, but all across the continent, so that folks can see what we're capable of, and so that the next generations can have it slightly less difficult than the ones before them. I love running. It's amazing. It's a really big part of my life. I run generally once a day. I'll take times off. Sometimes I'll do it more than once a day. Generally I won't. Generally it's just once a day. I think maybe I've taken one day off the past 40 or so days. The point I was getting to was that I've never felt worse after a run. There's literally never been a single time where I've felt worse afterwards. And I'm not trying to say running cures mental health or everyone should run, but for me, I love it and it's helpful. And after running, I always feel better and it provides a clarity, but I just love it. It feels like I'm more so within the elements and grounded and feeling the breeze and listening to nature. It's like a Venn diagram with like a dozen circles, and I'm in that juicy middle part where I'm getting to run and do something I love and engage with nature and ground, see the Jurup and get to practice my language and see some crows in the tree and practice it and be Nyan Jinaning, Bola, Wardang, Jilgi, Curling, and I'll get to run around and do that, and it's super helpful and beneficial in all these sort of varied ways. So there are just so many positives to it. I think if you're lucky enough to be someone with something in your life that you love, and then lucky enough that maybe you can make a living off of it, and then lucky enough that you've got the space and to do so, and by that I mean the mental bandwidth, the responsibilities in your life. I think we've all got really fair things in our life that are obstacles that get in the way of the stuff that we want to do. If you've got that combination of hard work and luck, that's where you're going to be able to be someone that I guess is successful by your own definition, and to an extent society kind of needs to define it as success too, if you want to be in that space where you're really slaying and turning that into a job but not getting burnt out by it. I guess in this platform, in this space, you know, talk a lot about mental health, and that's enormous. And for me, with I guess my success professionally, there has been elements of my mental health that have been really supported and gotten to grow. But then as well, when I'm really in a mode of just being busy and loving it and being obsessed, then you can maybe focus less on your mental health. So routines and habits, positive ones, I think are good. Just like unpack your life and like take stock of the things that you think are healthy and the things that you love to do, and find out where they intersect and underline them. For me, what that looks like is I love to run. I think it's really healthy. I do it. I try to eat healthy food. I go to a psychiatrist. I try not to drink or do other things that, for me and how I am centered in my life and the folks around me, well, I think my life's pretty great, and for the most part, I'd really like to role model that a life can be really great with, not drinking so much, for example. All that means is, I guess I just got to keep working, got to keep being in this space, got to be patient towards others, so that I can receive that patience as well, which we all deserve, and nothing that you're working on is going to happen immediately or always happen in a linear timeline. You're going to experience success and then experience not success. You're going to experience failure, but I know when I'm able to succeed in those trenches is not defining myself by my bad moments. Allow yourself to grow. Be less harsh on yourself. It may even be like one success, failure, one success. But those successes can be so scaled, and if you zoom out and judge things with a bit more longevity in mind, not only will start to be scaled and mean more, those 10 failures might actually over time only mean 10% of an impact on your life, and then one success might be 90%, I think are able to put up with the weight that those can have on you at times. So not define yourself by them, then I think it gives you a better chance at progressing, at least to speak to my own experience.